Wow. Whoa, that's creepy. Hi. Hello, everybody, to my video on what I think of FNAF Security Breach. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach is a very interesting work. There's lots going on with it, lots to talk about really with this game. We've been playing it on a live stream. I'm probably about halfway through the game, and we've been doing it as live streams. And I hope to continue it after the little bit of a couple days off here for Christmas. Anyway, guys, if you want to see more videos like this, maybe some tips, more tips and tricks like this one's going to be on Security Breach, and maybe some other games like Phasmophobia or Magic the Gathering or anything of that sorts, do hit the subscribe button today, because I will be probably covering this game a little bit more in depth than what I've been doing just playing the live streams. There is a lot to this game. There is a giant amount to this game. I am Cindershadow. We're just over about 1,300 subs, and we will be pushing that ever so greatly up and higher. This game is it's a good game, but is it worth the price? It was about $45 Canadian. It was donated to the channel by a good and known channel member, Crash Test. Thank you once again for that. And is it worth the $45 that Crash Test or myself would have paid for this game? And I have to unfortunately say no. This is one of those games that should, if it goes on sale, I would say pick it up, because there is still a lot of gameplay to this that is very good. If it goes on sale by the end of the new year or relatively in January, I would say pick it up. Why do I say that? Well, there is a lot of things going wrong with the game. As you can see in my opening there, you can see models just clip through doors. There is a lot of lag issues. There is a lot of stuttering issues. And I'm also going to show you how to fix those issues as well in this video.
They are all accessible to staff, with high enough clearance, of course. Guests are never allowed down here, but...
That was random. Okay, the glitchiness needs to stop. So there is a slide right here. Can I go up that slide and just get to it real quick? That might be the way to do it. Okay, so we got a green one here. Orange. Green and orange have one each. So just for context, those few clips there I show you, they're all just things that were lagging out on me with the game. And these are very early in the game. Like, we're talking the first couple instances of running through the game. The very early does it seem to show up. This lag spiking issue is a giant one. And what I found, actually, from our good friends Desolator Magic, he was able to send me a link that actually showed me how to fix this. And you got to go into your what is it, your video card settings. You got to find your FNAF settings in particular for your video card. So this is going to be different between NVIDIA and AMD. So if I really do show this, it's not going to be the same. What you got to do is you got to go in there and turn on your V-Sync. You turn on your V-Sync in the settings for your video card. It's going to get rid of the stuttering, and it's actually going to smooth it out drastically. I run a 1660 Ti, and there are people with 3080s, 3090s. I am watching their videos, and I'm watching them do this as well, and they are having as many issues as you guys have just seen through those few clips. So depending on which one you do, I would look it up, try and look it up, and it's going to, you'll probably find a guide that's going to actually go step by step, and it's a very easy one. If you are inclined and you know your video card settings and know how to fix them or know how to go into them, then you go in and turn on that V-Sync for this game, and it will smooth it out and it'll make it play a lot better. I was even getting, it was starting to lag so badly, it was starting to interrupt our streams, and that is one of the reasons why I'm batting this right home and showing you guys those clips. This is a big issue with the game, and one of the reasons why I'd say don't buy this game at full value, because now you got to go in and you have to tweak your own little system to play this game properly. And that is something I think will get fixed later on. I think they will find some hot fixes and some patches, and they will actually fix these. A lot of the videos I've seen are like day one glitches, and they have come out with other hot fixes as well. And as we're progressing, I have seen things get a lot better in the lag and stuttering department. Now, let's cover a few basic things on the characters in the game and probably their weaknesses when you're going through the early game. Now, first off, you have Freddy Fazbear. You will be able to use him as your friend and ally through this game. You will be able to climb into his chest cavity and run around with him. And when you do that, other bots and like Chica and Roxy and the Gator and Vanessa, they won't see you. They won't find you when you're inside of Freddy. However, he does run on a power supply bank. So if you do run out of power, he kills you. He will jump scare you and kill you because he is no longer in control of his body or of his animatronics. It downloads to another default version of Freddy that seems to be more inclined to just be murderous and trying and take you out. So that is his biggest weakness, is you have to charge him up, and you got to do this quite frequently. So if you, I'm not going to go full into it because you guys got to play the game for yourself. It's a great, ultimately the game is a great game. It is a lot of fun. I am enjoying this solely because you're running around, you're playing, you're doing all these things. There's lots to explore. There is lots to see around. However, that also is one of the giant drawbacks of this game. If you're not paying attention to what you need to do in this game, you're going to get lost very, very quickly. And the overall visual, and I think they've actually succeeded here very well in that sense that you're going to lose track of where you are. And I believe they did this on purpose. They're not marking things down for you on purpose. But if you watch the dialogue, turn on subtitles also. If you watch the dialogue, you play along with the dialogue, and you listen to it, you will be able to figure out this game very quickly. However, there is so much going on, so many things that are distracting you visually. It's like you're a little kid in a playground. And I don't know how else they could have done this. Like that sense that you're playing as a kid in a playground in this big giant pizzaplex where you're off in Disneyland or off in where here we have Galaxyland for West Edmonton Mall. You're there. There's so much visual stimulation going on. It's hard to focus on the dialogue, and I think that's where they've really succeeded in this. Yes, you're walking around like an aimless fool at times in this game, and you will try and find your way through the game, but I think that's part of the charm of it and why it's such a fun game to explore. Now, with Freddy, he does try and lead you. There is always a mission log, and you want to link back to the mission log. He gives you a fast watch at the very beginning. Learn that very well. Once you learn that, how to look at the cameras, how to look at the map, how to read the messages, it is very good. The major downfall on that, though, is if you're playing with the keyboard and mouse, the mouse doesn't show up properly on it. Also, same thing with the controller. You're trying to navigate it. The navigation in the Fazwatch is not very good. So this is that give and take with the game, and why I think that there's a lot that they need to improve on for this game. But there's a lot that they've done very right with the game at the same time, and why it's such a fun game ultimately. The next character to really talk about is Chica. She is the pizza-loving glam rock gal that will murder you in a heartbeat. She will find you if you stay still for very long. Probably one of the biggest things of her character that you need to be paying attention to is if you try to hide and she sees you hide, she will find you instantly. She will open up whatever you've hidden in and she will pull you out of there, and you're going to be restarting the game. That is the biggest thing. However, she is easily distracted. You can hit some of the things, she will be distracted very easily. So the biggest tip for her, if you need to find a spot to hide, first off, all of these bots, they're near impossible to outrun. You're going to need to always find a way to hide. And with Chica, if you're going to hide with Chica, you need to break line of sight and then hide. So ideally, you want to run, turn a corner, find a spot to hide. That's how you're going to get away from Chica every time. But until you learn that, you're going to be caught by her probably 90% of the time. It is very difficult to get away from Chica. She's probably one of the first ones that you're going to take care of in the game per se, just because of a lot of things like this. And she is very persistent. So ultimately, she will find you if you hide right in front of her. She will just find you very quickly. Okay. What? Really? The next one is Roxy. Roxy is a very... She's probably one of the dumber of all the characters. She's not very smart when it comes to trying to find you. You can hide literally in plain sight with Roxy and she won't see you. Plain and simple. What you do is when you're running away, all you want to do with Roxy is find a place to hide very quickly, hop in there. Ideally she won't open it up and find you. She does kind of look in certain spots. There's the part where they've got the photo booth in the arcade, and she will open up one of them, but it's random which one she's going to open up. If you've hidden in them, you're probably you have like a 90% chance of getting away from her the second you hide. She's not going to find you very easily. Are you going to run from her? No, she is faster than Chica. Ultimately, if you're running from her, she will catch up to you a lot quicker than the other bots. That's probably her major part. She's supposed to be able to see you and track you very easily, and you'll be hiding for a little bit and you'll hear her sniffing the air, but she doesn't actually register that you're doing that. Chica has a better sense of smell than Roxy does. So ultimately, if you do find yourself toe-to-toe with Roxy, just find a bin to hide in because she won't find you in plain sight. Montgomery Gator. He, so far, like I'm about halfway through the game and I have not run into him very much. Just a couple sequences where he's chasing you and you're able to pretty much outrun him in those sequences unless you get caught up on something, which has happened quite a bit to me with the lag spikes that I've seen. But ultimately, I don't know much about him. I know I'm getting up to the part where I may be facing him very soon. I think it'll be a couple more streams for that though, as to try and take his next item off of him. But ultimately, he's not part of the main game in that sense. You don't see him wandering very often. You do see him every once in a while, but ultimately he doesn't pose that much of a threat. You don't really need to worry about him per se through the majority of the first half of the game. These guys are something different. There's a part in the game where it's very dark and you've got to run through a maze of hitting switches, opening doors. And each time you hit a switch, it awakens more of these guys. These guys are being dubbed the red light, green light animatronics. They because they have no outer shell on them, anytime you look at them, they stop dead in their tracks. They do not progress forward. They will stay there as long as you're looking at them. The second you look away, not the floor or the ceiling, you actually have to turn your back to them or duck behind something. They will start moving. And in a lot of cases, they have a set course that they will follow. But if they see you and you've turned away, they will veer off that course and try and catch you very quickly. They are very speedy. So if you've turned your back for just a couple seconds, they may catch up right behind you. But the second you look at them, they will stop. Also, do not approach any of the bots very closely. They will generally jump scare you and kill you very quickly if you do. But these red light, green light ghosts, the major tip is always keep your eyes on them and they won't be that much of a threat. Some of them you've got to kind of look away and hide and let them walk past and then hop out and run away, because it's just easier than having to sneak past them. When you're sneaking past them, you're getting almost too close to them and they will generally give you a game over screen if you get way too close to them. The next one, these two are very strange. They are in and out of the game. This is what's known as the sun and the moon. They are one of the major parts of a level, in particular the daycare. The sun is completely harmless. If you are facing the harmless, generally he just wants to play or throw you out, or he's not really going to do much to you. However, the moon is very dangerous. If you're caught and it's dark and the moon is in the room, you want to get away from him very quickly. Generally, later on in the game, there's times he shows up. All you need to do is get to a recharge center with the battery pack center, and it gets rid of him very quickly. It gets through that little bit of a screen. But with the daycare part, the major tip I can tell you there is use the distractions that are in the daycare. It will make things a lot easier. Ultimately, you're able to run around. If he's always got something to do, you're not going to have to deal with them very often. And the other tip I have for the daycare when you're in there is avoid the slides. That's how I got through it very quickly. There was one slide that you could go through very quickly. That's about it. But ultimately, I said to myself, okay, I'm avoiding all the slides, and you will not get caught by him more often than not. He does patrol the slides, and he will jump into them and catch you very quickly. So if you avoid those slides, you're going to be able to get past the moon very quickly and get through that daycare very, very easily. The last bot that you have to worry about in this game is Vani. Ultimately, Vani is not... it's not going to play a lot of roles. There's some major parts of the game that revolve around Vani, and there's some times where she is wandering the center, so you will know when Vani's around because the screen looks like it glitches out. You won't be able to see properly, and you won't be able to do things normally when she's walking around the entirety of the multiplex. When she is close by, you will know what you got to do there is hide, make sure she doesn't see you, hide, and let her pass. Once she's passed, the threat is pretty much over. She doesn't stick around for very long when that does happen. Ultimately, you're finding out more info about Vani with that, so it'll be very interesting later on in the game once I get there. Well, where do I sit on this game? Well, right now I haven't completed the game. We're still doing live streams of it. It's going to be a couple days before I get back to them, thanks to Christmas, because Christmas is a time of year to sit with your friends. But I figured I'd throw up this video for anyone that is playing FNAF security breach, and then you guys can get some tips and tricks out of this game. Figure out the stuttering issues so you can kind of get past that major issue and enjoy the game in itself. The entirety of the game is very good. I think the whole concept of being able to make it feel like you're a child that's being overstimulated in this place is a great way to showcase how you lose track of how things go very quickly. You sit back, you relax, you enjoy this one, take your time with it, and just have fun. And that is the purpose of playing these video games. And I think they've done this very well. The small things, the small details, the glitchiness, the some of the models going through other models, some of the walls being transparent. I think all of those are little things that can easily be overlooked and hotfix later on with the game. But once again, because of those, there is the glaring issues with them. And unfortunately, I do have to say, try not to get this game at full price. Try and pay a few dollars off on it. Even at 10% off on it, I think it would still be very worthwhile in that sense. Ultimately, the game is probably about a 7 right now with all the glitchiness and everything going on in there. We even had a situation where I was playing on live stream and I clipped into a door and I literally had to exit the game and reset it. I've seen people have to, where they summon Freddy when they're not supposed to be able to summon Freddy, and there's two Freddys on the screen. One is in the capsule being worked on, and the other one is standing right there going, where are we going? Where are we going? Like the good old little dog Freddy seems to be. I've also seen where there's a save point glitch where it's aired out and you can't do that. Once again, you can't really get past that until you reset the game or you die. And so if that happens, it's very unfortunate. If you see it happen, try and maybe do that reset sooner than later so you don't progress a bunch, because that glitch seems to carry along as you progress more in the game. And we did have that happen on live stream, and it was very, very unfortunate to see. So, other than the tips and tricks with all the bots, you avoid all the other bots there. You know what? If you run past them, you can run past all the security bots very, very simply. Just don't get caught in their flashlight. Otherwise, just run past them. You could I'm going to probably see people speed run this game very quickly and very fun. It's going to be an interesting game to see. Once it gets fully developed, it really does feel rough around the edges, and I hope they come out with some hot fixes and patches for it that does make this an amazing game for what it deserves to be. I think they've succeeded very well in making it feel like you're a kid running around an amusement park. Anyway, guys, this is Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off. If you like this, like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, let me know down below what you didn't like. Leave comments, share, do whatever the YouTube algorithm likes, all that good stuff. But until next time, you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.